So in this video, I want to talk about Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out Season 3, as this is one of those requested animes that I've been asked to talk about, and what is the deal with Season 3. There's also been a lot of YouTube channels out there claiming that Season 3 has been renewed, which is actually factually incorrect. So to kind of some websites as well. A lot of these YouTube channels, what they are is they're just text-to-speech bots that just copy the websites, and the websites are generally just copy-paste kind of formula bot-based stuff as well. And some of those YouTube channels are run by the websites and vice versa, so they've got their own motives for self-promoting amongst each other, but mostly they just use each other's content, and sometimes they will of course just try and steal stuff that I talk about, because it seems to be I'm the only one that seems to correct them, so they end up trying to mimic what I say. But irrelevant of that, the season 2 covered up to chapter 69 of the manga, so if you do want to continue on from season 2, chapter 70 is the best place to start. But as I always say, start from the beginning, because you always get little changes between the anime and the manga. That's just my humble opinion. Now, is there enough material for a season 3? Technically, yes, there is enough material, but it's one of those where I honestly feel like that if they were to do a season 3, I think they would kind of wait a little while, get some more chapters out, allow for a little bit of leeway. But I haven't been reading the manga up to date, but I have been hearing that there's been some major progress being made in the actual story itself. Maybe there is a drawing of a conclusion to the story. That could be a possibility. Again, I'm just going based on some of the snippets I see where people post spoilers about the manga chapters. But there are two case scenarios. If it is true that the story is kind of reaching a climax, then I would think that they would wait for the finish of the story, then announce a season 3, and then conclude the rest of the story in an anime format. Or if it's the other option, which is it's not getting to the conclusion and there's still much of the story to go, they will probably still wait for enough material to get ahead enough that there is a bit of leeway, so that if they do drop a season 3, if they then decide to do a season 4, it won't take them like 6 years, an infinite amount of time for them to bring it out. Because those kind of situations is where sometimes they'll just drop season after season really quickly. They'll catch up, or they'll go over all the story, and then there's no source material left, and then you end up waiting an infinite amount of time, and then all the hype dies out while you wait for that. They like to pace it. That's a very important thing when it comes to light novels and mangas. They try to pace these things if they're intending to do a long run. But there's also the other option that we don't get a season 3, and that seasons 1 and 2 would just use to get people invested into the manga deep enough so that they would end up purchasing the manga and the actual physical copies of the mangas, and also getting the merchandise as well. I feel like if that was the case, they would have just stuck to one season and not actually had done a season 2. So I do think there is a much higher chance that there is a season 3 coming out, but it could take some time. It could be a year, could be 2, could be 3. Again, your guess is as good as what I could come up with, but I think it would be at least a couple years before we see anything like a season 3 announcement. So if anything does change, I will definitely update you on the channel as far as Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. I would recommend, again, checking out the manga if you really want to read more or know more about the story. Again, chapter 70 is where you can start off. So again, if anything changes, I will update the channel. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.